Hello. We're talking about my tits.
Most of the time.
Girl on girl on girl.
You would.
Like, stop picking up the fucking hot knife.
Who fucking cares?
Right on track.
Ugh.
With a lot of money, I would do great fucking things.
But not in a good way.
Yikes.
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 Yikes. Where's the realness?
Yeah. Everything you want. Immaculate experience.
Back down.
You're getting, like, excited.
I do actually.
Give me the tequila.
Exactly.
This is a test.
This is a test.
We are here on the podcast.
Can you hear us both?
What do you think about this? Is this illegal? Is this dog balls?
I like it.
Is it medium? Oh, let's check. Let's see. Let's test. We're resuming.
We're resuming.
You guys, welcome back to the podcast.
Welcome back to the podcast.
So
friends.
get this. We're walking in Whistler right now.
Yeah, on a path.
We literally, oh my God.
Might get hit by a bike.
Chick is going rogue on her bike. Okay, so we just both went pee. And we were at the lake and
Sun tanning for like 30 seconds because it's cloudy today.
the weather's a little
Hashtag illegal.
/ skits. So we're out there and Kelsey's like, I need to go pee. And I'm like, me too. So we go pee and then she comes out. She's like, what do you think about like recording a podcast as we're walking, like a rogue one? And I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. It feels like the move. I'm really down.
Also, it feels like the move because our whole brand is about being unconventional and
Yes.
doing things in a way that is so fun, that sparks joy and fun
Yeah.
and playfulness. And this, like walking, I mean, this is so also on brand because whenever I'm recording Panther podcasts
We're
or
out walking most of the time.
100%, I'm out walking because I get in flow. I'm like in the vibe versus sitting there at my desk being like, okay, I'm going to turn on my podcast video now. And now I'm a professional. Now I need to do it like this versus being like, I'm on the go. I'm in fucking flow. And so be
Here
it.
we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. So we're going to give you a little taste of behind the scenes with Kelsey and Christine. And we've been on like an impromptu founders like little mastermind today and yesterday and tomorrow for a little bit. And this is our second walk of the day. We're almost at 20,000 steps, by the way. Congratulate us. This is a big deal. Mm-hmm. And our session this morning was really this huge mastermind of what we're doing with our business next and where we're going. And so it makes perfect sense to me that we would use our second walk of the day to record a podcast.
And this is what we want to talk about. We want to talk about the fact that like you can have the most fun on fire business and creations of your dreams and do it in a way that works for you. Because for some people, they love the sit down. They love being in an office. They love being like in that more traditional space. And we love that for them. And we love that for you if that's you.
And sometimes that's me.
Yeah. 100%. Yes, we want to be in the vibe. And also we want the freedom and flexibility to be like, let's do a podcast on the go. Like, it's a podcast on the go. This is like a segment. It's like a podcast on the go. And it's us just like being ourselves. And like you said, my boyfriend messaged me this morning and he's like, I hope you guys are having a productive day. And I messaged him back. I was like, yeah. I'm like, guess what? We just went for like an hour and a half walk around the lake in the sunshine with coffees in our hands. And I said, we literally just masterminded our whole a second tier to the club. Yeah. We like a coaching certification, a come alive retreat. Like we have our whole thing about all these different things that we're going to build and create and are so excited about. And even the ways we can give back. Like last night at dinner, we'll go into that more, but we were sitting there and we're like, once we hit this like monetary threshold, let's start like putting money aside and like every month or whatever we'll go and like we'd love to just like
Have our own Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Our own Unhinged Make-A-Wish Foundation where like people who need shit can like message us and we can be like, yeah, fucking treat yourself, here you go, right? Like biggest dream. That's
Here's
why
your
like,
new refrigerator.
totally like, what do you need, boo? And so like it's just so fun. We had the best time.
Oh
and
gosh, it was so unhinged.
So unhinged. And even on our social we posted like I love creating our like empire and this like legacy business, and we get to sit here and drink fucking spicy margs and
Whiskey sours.
yeah, like because we can.
Because we can. So it feels good. And this actually leads in really nicely to what we're doing next in the club, which is our next 30-day challenge. And it's...
Are you ready to rumble?
Excited. And it's a 30-day like pleasure reset challenge, and it's all about for 30 days following what fucking feels good. And as women, I don't know about y'all, but there's so much conditioning around following what makes everybody else happy and what makes everybody else comfortable. And that often comes at the expense of what feels good to me. And so we're going to reset that over the summer. It's summertime, pleasure, sexy, yum.
Bikinis, sun, sunscreen, sexy hotness,
bikinis.
neon bikinis, boob sweat, like margaritas, like doing what feels good.
Yes.
Like intuition, coming back into feminine energy. And you guys, this is not something that is added to the to-do list and something of scarcity and lack where it's like, I'm not doing enough and I need to fix myself, and so let me do this thing, and it becomes more work. This is actually the more you do these micro daily dose processes that we give you, you're actually reclaiming your power, your pleasure, prosperity conscious unlocks. These are tiny little things that you infuse throughout your day, and it's one day at a time, one tiny micro dose at a time, no drugs needed. Or you can if you want, but if you want to, but they're not necessary for you to just when you start releasing all that dense energy and you start infusing more of this, mentally you might be like, this is more, it's one more thing I have to do. It fucking isn't. No. Because the more you start adding pleasure, the more you start releasing density, and the more you release density, the more joyful capacity, the more regulated you are, the more your system's like, oh my God, I'm not just stressed out in survival, fucking yelling at my kids and bitching to the other moms about oh, when are my kids back in school? No, I'm telling you, most people are summer's just a time for me to maybe have the odd, little tiny thing that feels good, or maybe the one vacation that I'm dreading because yada, yada, yada. And then there's there's no pleasure, there's no fun, there's no expansiveness. And it's let's work with what your life is and just start adding in these micro doses of pleasure into your day, because then your nervous system relaxes. And when you relax, your intuition unlocks. When your intuition unlocks, if you're into manifestation, let me tell you, everything starts coming to you because you're in feminine receptive energy and you're not a fucking spaz dressed up in survival mode. So all of this unlocks so much. It's not just a pleasure, a 30-day pleasure reset. It is that, but it's learning how to actually create long-lasting, sustainable change in your life by adding in flow and the things that feel good. Everyone talks about these things, we want them, but they feel like these big arduous, well, how do I go from survival, stressed out, and cortisol, living in more of a survival base, which, let me tell you, you can still be successful and have all that. It's just that oftentimes we're so rigid that we have lost our femininity. We've lost that lean backness. We've lost that ability to receive. And that's actually the magic piece of the puzzle when it comes to creating the lives that we're obsessed with and that make us come alive and that we love. And we're obsessed, as you know, with transformation, reinvention, and having you design a life that you're fucking obsessed with.
Yeah. If you don't feel good in your life, how are you actually going to take it to the next level? Why would you take it to the next level if you already don't like what's happening right now? That's so silly. And so we want you to have this nice baseline of what feels good for you at this season of your life too, because that's an important distinction. What felt good to me when I was 20, very different than what feels good for me at 43. And we want you to have that flexibility so that no matter what season you're in, you actually have the ability to tune in to what actually feels good for you. And when you can follow what feels good, like Christine said, you're creating the conditions for more magic, for more flow, for even more connection in your relationships. Nobody wants to be in a relationship with someone who is shut down and cranky all the time. And when you fill up with pleasure, you have more bandwidth. And it also helps you navigate those challenges that are inevitable in every relationship. If I have 3 hours of sleep, I've been eating junk food, and then my partner is hey, we need to talk about this thing that you did that I didn't like, and be you know what, you can get fucked. That's what's going to happen. But if I'm filling up on what feels good every day, then if he brings the same, feedback to me, I'll be okay, I actually have capacity and bandwidth to hear you and maybe dialogue and find our way through. So it really is one of these big cheat codes to life, and it really unlocks these portals of magic, so much magic. I'm thinking last night when we were at dinner, and when we go out we're just ourselves. Like, we're not trying to be unhinged, we just are. And we go to our favorite restaurant, and we were like, I wonder how beige our server is going to be.
Can we just talk about that dog for 5 seconds?
Yeah.
This is the podcast on the go, but keep going.
Yeah, and this is real life with Kelsey and Christine. And we're at this restaurant, and
Like high-end restaurant, too.
high-end restaurant. And Christine orders her spicy marg, and I order my whiskey sour, and the server brings it. And then we just start going off the rails. And she's like, don't eat the chili. And we're like, why? And she's like, we like use one chili to infuse 4 liters of tequila. And like, if you bite into that, like, you're not going to taste your dinner. And then we go rogue with this conversation and be like, but if you did eat it, and like there was someone that you really fucking hated, if you eat the pepper and then you go give them a blowjob, joke's on them.
She looks at, because the minute you tell Kelsey and I not to do something, we're like, I feel like I should do that. So Kelsey goes off about the blowjob, and then I'm like, yeah, you call up your ex-boyfriend, you tell him, you know what, just don't feel like our relationship is complete until I give you a hand shandy. Now, what they don't know is your hand is infused, is in chili juice. The server legit looks at us. She's so on fire, by the way. She looks at us and she goes, what is up with the plane now? Do you hear the fucking plane?
Yeah. Well, this is podcasting on the
Podcasting on the go. Okay. So she looks at us, and at this point, we don't know, is she unhinged?
Yeah,
is she
we don't know.
We don't know. Is it like,
we're testing the
are we
waters.
vanilla cupcake? Are we Beijosaurus Rex? We don't know.
Yeah.
So she looks over and she goes, cause she's like, you can see she's about to fucking blow. She goes, just don't eat the pepper, and then walks away. And we're like fucking dead. We're like, oh my God, how did we even get there? Like, how did we get there?
0 to 100 in a matter of seconds. Mm-hmm. And then she opened up. Like, she really started to play with the energy, which I appreciated. And then, like, she started saying some unhinged shit, and we're like, yes, this bitch is fucking unhinged like we are. This is amazing. And, like, that's the thing. When you're following what feels good, whatever that expression is in the moment, you also give other people permission to be more of themselves, too. And so Christine and I, we were just in our self-expression. Like, that is literally how we talk to each other. I don't know what happens when we get together, but, like, it gets dirty, it gets unhinged, and then there are other times where it's very serious and, like, very loving. But we never know what's quite going to come out. But when we're out in public, it's usually going to be some version of dirty and hyper.
You know what's interesting? What I want to say, and also, like, can we hear the drilling now? Like, this is fucking, I really hope as listeners, you're following along, being like, oh, wow, it's just a myriad of different...
Well, I wonder if, like, these things were always happening on our walks and we just weren't present to it.
Yeah.
But we're present to it now because we're trying to do our podcast, and so we're hearing everything that we weren't hearing before.
And now we're like, go away.
Like, stop it.
Stop it. Even though wind earlier, I was like, geez, wind, like, simmer down. But what really sticks out to me that is what's actually happening... Kelsey just took off her sweater. I'm like, zing, zing. Is that we're really following the fun.
Yes.
Like, we're following, and I think that's going to be like a motto moving forward in my life. Like, fun is a massive value of mine, is having fun and creating fun and not waiting for fun things to come to you and, like, being like the passive princess. It's just more of like, I'm going to create. Any moment can be fun, 100%. And that's what I mean. Like, we were having so much fun, and it was so fun to watch our server, like, to see her fun unlock and that playful energy in her unlock, because we were creating a grounds for it. Like, we were just fucking around. And again, like Kelsey said, we're not out there trying to be anything. We're following the flow. And what's actually fucking hilarious is that Kelsey and I individually
are very not like that.
Yeah, like, we're both, like, really soulful and, like, help people through, like, massive life transitions and traumas, and can go so deep and so rich with people into, like, these really wild initiations with them. And then when we come together, it's just this, like,
Turbo time
unlocks. And we were laughing because we're like, we don't like,
it doesn't happen with anybody else.
I know. And when we get into each other's fields, Yeah, it's like that. It's just something magical that unlocks. And anyone who's in our world and actually works with us, like in the club or in Panther, any one of these like more intimate things, they know us exactly, or knows us personally. They know this about us, And I think you and I probably both had moments of being like, oh my God, are we too off the rails together?
Yeah,
but
sometimes, but then it is what it is. Like, this is just what's authentic in the moment. And I'd rather live my life in that state of authenticity than like shutting these parts down. Like, I wrote a post on Threads today that the opposite of depression is not happiness. It's like what's happening with depression is you're not expressing. So like the opposite of depression is expression. And I think a lot of people are depressed because they're not expressing. And then that whatever's not being expressed is being suppressed. And they're trying to like gauge every single moment to moment interaction. Like, can I really be myself? Can I really be expressed? Can I really be all of me? And I think you and I are really good permission slips. Like, we're literally walking permission slips being like, yeah, be all of you. Like, that's really the only way you're going to find your people anyway. Because if you're pretending to be someone that you're not, you're only enrolling people into a version of you that is inauthentic, and then you have to keep up the inauthenticity to keep the relationship. Ugh. It's so much work, and deep down you know that they're not choosing you for you. So on some level, like, it becomes like this block to intimacy and connection. And we would much rather take the path of authenticity, which allows like the right people to be filtered in, the wrong people to be filtered out, and then you can just be yourself. And that's where like magic and creativity gets really activated, when you're around people that you don't have to fucking censor yourself around.
Amen. I feel like I'm like being taken to church right now. And also as well, I think the fun thing about us with the podcast and with all of this and the way that what we unlock in each other is that I think it is showing us like, we are always advocating for the full range women in the club, and the women always say how like that container is so sacred, and they feel so safe and they feel so supported because we don't have any expectations on how they show up. Like, if they're in a fucking cranky mood, they show up cranky. If they're in a amazing, celebrating, like over the moon shit that's unlocked for them, amazing. Like, none of it is good or bad or right or wrong. Like, the polarity that we can hold in there and the duality gives women that safety to understand who they are in a balanced way, not from their, like, a lot of women have experienced something growing up, and so they actually become the opposite of that if they didn't like it, or they become the conditioned version and they just replicate what they saw. But so women get to know who they actually are and what they stand for by being given the full, massive, free range to be in all states, because then you can actually neutralize and figure out, like, oh, well, this is actually my like authentic landing point, and this is my authentic vibrational expression versus that. And so I think you and I, like, having that, accepting and having that off the railsness gives us permission that we can also be our full range selves. Because in the club, when we're teaching, when we're guiding, when we're leading, when we're in mentorship calls with them, when we're doing any of our work, VIP days, like, we are so dialed in equal parts soulful and spice. Like, it's like a really big range. And so I think that's also what makes us quite different in that in that component, because that's what we do. So I think our unhingedness, like, it's showing us, can you hold your quote-unquote weirdness, right? And all of that expression.
Just as much approval as your sacredness and, like, the sweetness, and, like, all of it gets to belong. Like, all of it is welcome. And I think, to me, there's, like, so much... Which way are we going? Hold on. We need to figure out where we are.
It's going real loud up here.
Okay. Then we're going to go... We're taking a detour, friends. We're going through the bushes.
Detour.
And we're going to take the road so that maybe there's less traffic.
The road more traveled.
Yeah, watch there be more traffic this way.
It's just the river gets fucking wild there.
That's true.
I feel like we're going to wrap section there.
Yeah. Well, and I don't even know what tangent I was on there, but, like, all that to say, like, being around people who invite you into your full range, important. If you don't have those people around, then become the permission slip for that. you lead by example. I think so many people are just fucking waiting on the sidelines for someone to come and fucking lead when they're supposed to lead. And like, this is where a lot of creative energy gets suppressed, and then people get depressed when you're actually supposed to express.
She's in poetry, friends. She's in a fucking poetry grand slam right now.
Yeah. And like, when we play with that permission, like, it's so much easier to get to a space where you're like, okay, I'm going to be a walking permission slip when I've made a habit of following what feels good in my life and learning what that means, because a lot of us did not get to learn what that means. We did not get to experience following the flow of what feels good to our system. And we're not talking about like the immediate gratification. We're talking about what feels good over a longer period of time. Like, what feels good is like going on these walks, you know, but to a certain part of me, it might be like, I want to watch Netflix and eat Doritos. Although that's not a bad idea. But again, when we follow what feels truly good to the human and the soul, so that they're in coherence with each other, we get a very different experience of being alive. We actually come fully alive. And that's the whole fucking point of what we're up to, and specifically what we're going to do in this challenge. So what we want you to do is we want you to go to the show notes, and we want you to hit the button that says subscribe to the 30-day challenge and sign yourself up. It's $30 for 30 days. And we're going to pleasure front load your life. We're going to teach you how to follow what feels good for you and give you a nice little experiment to run for an entire month of all of these different areas of life where you get to experience what feels good for you at this stage of your journey. So go do that.
Fuck yeah!
We love you.
Well, our last visibility challenge we did was off the fucking chains. We had like 50 people in there. There was the best vibe, daily audio drops on Telegram. So the cool thing is we've designed these is because we get it. Like, summer can be very busy, and it can just, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes people feel like it's like one more thing to do. And so some of the feedback we got last time was people being like, oh, I would have loved to sign up, but you know, I don't have time. I have so much on the go, or, you know, because obviously the cost isn't a barrier. We've created it to be like a very low, like, you know, something that there's no barrier to entry really. So it's like, for a lot of people, it's time, and there's this illusion. And I remember telling them afterwards, because they were like, oh my God, I'm so jelly. I have FOMO. I feel like I've seen so many people having these breakthroughs. And I was like, yeah, it's just because it's not designed to take up your time. These are short audios that are dropped in the morning. You get to go in, you listen, and there's a community space if you want to use it. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But it's like, it's just a way to be able to have somebody in your ear reminding of you of like who the fuck you are, what you're capable of, that it's okay to have pleasure, that it's okay to receive. And it's like, go and find what works for you, and it brings you back to your authenticity. When you brings you back to your authentic self, and your intuition, you feel good because you're in coherence, you're in alignment with your soul, with your higher self, and then life starts getting better and better and better. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden you have more energy, even though you might be quote unquote doing more. So it's this like funny thing that unlocks. Yeah, we want you to come play. It is so fun. It is so simple. Again, like we said, these are like micro dosing, daily, no drugs needed way to start feeling really fucking good. And it is so sustainable. It is so easy to do. We've created it to be incredibly simple, but high level ROI, high level breakthroughs and transformation. So go sign your ass up.
We'll see you in there.
We'll see you in there. And also we have fun, sneaky things where we do like, we'll hop on Zoom, bonus calls, coaching sessions, like hopping on there, Q&A, like it's value packed. Our last one, the feedback was through the roof. And we're just excited to do it again. So go hit it. We love you.
Come play. We love you.
We're on the go, and we're going to fucking roll out now.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All in all, we want to say thank you for being here. We love and appreciate you so much. And if you liked today, give us a 5-star rating, and we'll see you next week.
And share it. If you know somebody who needs this in their life, share this shit. Abundance goes round and round. We love you.
We love you. Bye.